if President Biden is re-elected, I think you have a continuation of the status quo. And I'll remind you, Tanvi, that a continuation of the status quo is not exactly good for China. For example, remember the tariffs that President Trump put on? The Biden administration never removed those. They still exist. But if President Trump is re-elected to a second term, I do think there is going to be an upping of the trade war. This sounds strange. It sounds a little jingoistic. But the United States just happens to be in an incredible macro position right now. It genuinely is. It is an energy superpower. It controls the world's global financial architecture. And it is the preeminent technology superpower at this point. No one else comes close. Not the Euro area, not China. So if the US under a Trump administration starts to flex its muscles by imposing tariffs, and the idea that you shouldn't because, well, you haven't in the past, remember, this is someone who pushes established norms, then I think Europe in particular, I find more vulnerable than this part of than Asia.
You know, the only counter argument I will make there, Ajay, is that the trade surplus with China has narrowed. Now, it's not narrowed to the extent that it's gone down to sub 20 billion. But I've been looking at the run rate, and I think it's hovering at between 35, 40 billion. There's been trade diversion towards Mexico. So even if tariffs go up, even if there's a renewed ratcheting up of tensions on that front, how much does it hurt China versus how much does it hurt the US? And is it really posturing?
I don't think it is posturing. I don't think it hurts either the United States or China that much. Remember, in 2018, when the United States imposed the first wave of large tariffs, that was also the year that it grew at 3%. I do not think the United States will be hurt by tariffs. Yes, at the margin, the US consumer might have to pay a little more. You're right. I don't think China at this point is hurt by a second round of tariffs. But you mentioned autos a little while ago. If the United States imposes tariffs on European auto exports, I think that's the shot that will be heard across the world. That will matter.